bring confidence to every swing. With pins and aces, you're not just playing golf, you're making a statement. Bold designs, premium comfort, and performance that keeps up from the first tee to the final putt. Check it out now at pinsandaces.com. And now, Missouri Mayhem is hooking you up. Get 21% off your order with code 54321 at pinsandaces.com. Again, that is code 54321. Pins and Aces, play bold. Look better.
Welcome back to Missouri Mayhem, Mystery and Murder. I'm Mindy.
And I'm Megan. We are so happy to be back with you today. Hope everyone out there in our listening world is having a wonderful day today. We are going to bring you the story of the Feeney family from none other than Springfield, Missouri.
Of course.
That happened back in 1995. We want to say really quickly before we get started, thank you so much to everyone who's supporting us out there, whether it's via a podcast platform, YouTube, and of course, our Patreon people. Thank you so much, especially our Alibi members.
We appreciate you so much.
Yes. And if you want to join any of those, just Google Missouri Mayhem and you'll be able to find them. And don't forget, liking, subscribing, and sharing this episode will help bring our podcast to other true crime lovers. And help us maybe get a little bit more exposure and help recognize some more families and victims.
Absolutely. What have you been up to, Megan?
Nothing. No, just kidding. Lots of baseball this past weekend.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, we've been having some car issues.
Yes.
The last few weeks. So really, that's kind of what we've been dealing with. Yeah. But Spencer comes home this week. They're on spring break. So him and Grace are going to come home and hang out. So it's been a good week. What about you?
Good. I have zero to report.
No new reports. And we had our fun little adventure. We went to the Sheraton.
We went to the Sheraton.
For our Hyatt.
Yes.
Episode.
And that was a nice little field trip.
Yes. Our little staycation. It's nice.
And I like the way that the restaurant in Union Station, literally you can walk from the Sheraton all the way to Pierpont's.
Yes.
Without
going outside.
Yeah. And it was really cold that night. So.
It was snowing. Yeah. We didn't have to go outside at all. But no, it's been good.
Guys, let's go back to 1995. I don't think we've ever went back
to
95 yet.
I like the 90s.
Oh, yes. Didn't you get engaged in 95?
I did.
Aw.
Yeah.
So here are a few fun facts from that year. The best car was the Ford Taurus.
Well, of course, they don't even make that anymore. Everybody had a Ford Taurus.
What was the deal? They should still be making those.
Yeah.
How much do you think a new house was? Just guess.
Well, not $500,000 like it is today. Well, see, 95. Terry and I bought our first house in 2000. I'm gonna guess 110,000.
135,000.
Okay. Doable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best song of 1995 was Coolio's Gangster's Paradise. How's that go?
The most our life living in a gangster's paradise.
Yeah.
It's off of
it was off a movie with Michelle Pfeiffer.
What was that called? Where she's the teacher?
Yeah.
Was that her, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but yes, love that song.
Best movie, Toy Story.
Oh my gosh, I remember the first time I saw that.
Yes.
Spencer, we rented it from Blockbuster and watched it.
Oh,
yes.
the Blockbuster days.
Yes.
Oh, I miss Blockbuster.
Oh, that was our Friday night.
Oh.
Little Caesars and Blockbuster.
Oh, and going through the Blockbuster line and getting all the candy.
Oh,
it was like an eventful. I love Blockbuster.
I remember Terry'd get home from work and we'd all get in the van
and
go to Blockbuster.
It's so exciting.
So excited.
And get a pizza or something. Yeah.
Cheap.
Okay. Anyway. Events of 1995: Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh yeah.
O.J. Simpson trial and acquittal.
Oh.
Release of Windows 95.
Windows 95.
The launch of the Sony PlayStation.
What?
Yeah.
Now they're on PS6.
I know. Tiger Woods won his first U.S. Amateur Championship.
Oh.
And this is very important to my husband. Jerry Garcia died August 8th of 1995. And if you don't know who Jerry Garcia is, he's the lead singer and guitarist of the Grateful Dead. And my husband is obsessed with the Grateful Dead. So
shout out to the Grateful Dead.
Shout out to my husband and the Grateful Dead. And maybe we have listeners that like the Dead.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Baby names.
Oh, of course. Gotta do baby names.
Baby names. Okay. Girls' names. Jessica. Ashley.
Jessica, Ashley, Monica,
Jessica.
Ashley,
Ashley. Emily.
Samantha. That's a kind of a new one, though. Like, that did become popular in the
Except
90s. Samantha.
Except I wrote it wrong and wrote Samantha.
Samantha.
And Sarah.
Sarah.
And then the boys' names were Michael, Matthew, Christopher, Jacob, and Joshua.
Yes, very 90s, for sure.
Okay, so you were getting engaged in 95, right? That's when you got engaged, we said? What were you doing in
yes,
95 besides that?
I had enrolled at Maple Woods to get my basic electives done
Yeah.
and was going to school at Maple Woods and just got engaged. That's what I was doing. What were you
Nice.
doing?
I was trying to get a degree from
In
CMSU.
Dietetics.
In dietetics. And I did finish in 5 years.
Yes.
But I only used my degree for 3 years.
And you knew you were kind of like, I don't really know I want to do this. But
Yeah.
it's too far. I'm just doing it now.
I wanted to be a nurse. And then they're like, I was like, I don't think I want to save people's lives.
Too much math.
Too much.
And science.
So I'll be a dietitian, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey,
so
it all worked out.
Should we talk about the Feeney family from Springfield?
The Feeney family from Springfield.
Let's get serious.
I'm curious how many of our listeners know about this case.
Okay.
It's very crazy.
All right. So, a little overview about the case. On the early morning of Sunday, February 26th of 1995, the Feeney family murders occurred in Springfield, Missouri, when Cheryl Feeney, her 7-year-old son Tyler, and their 18-month-old daughter Jennifer had all been found dead in their home, while husband John Feeney was at a work conference.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So a mom and her 2 young kids.
Yes. He was initially suspected and accused of staging the scene for at least a $250,000 insurance policy, which would be $500,000 today.
Whoa.
He was acquitted of the murders in 1996, leaving the case unsolved. Yes, it is still unsolved. And yes, he received his payout.
He got the money.
He got the money. He was proven innocent and got the money. But
let's hear about this. Oh boy. Okay.
Okay, so let's just talk about the Feeney family in general, like who they were. Okay, so 35-year-old Cheryl Feeney and 36-year-old John Feeney lived in a new subdivision. Their address was 1993 West Nottingham Street in Springfield, Missouri, and they were known as the picture perfect family, aren't they all?
Right.
But anyway,
aren't they all in the beginning?
They had 2 children, 7-year-old Tyler and 18-month-old Jennifer. John was a high school science teacher, and Cheryl worked as a nurse, as an RN at a medical center. So they both were successful.
Teacher and nurse.
Everything.
All-American.
Yes. Looking
yes.
good. They met in 1978 at a trauma center. Cheryl was in nursing school and worked as a receptionist, and John was there as an attendant on the weekends. And according to John, they kind of made eyes at each other for a while, but their romance really didn't begin until Cheryl asked him to dance at a coworker's party one night.
And that sealed the deal.
And John evidently came from a really religious family, and so it was kind of like Footloose, like dancing was off the
prohibited.
Yes. And so when he danced with her that night, it was a big deal that he had done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, that sealed the deal, and they were married in 1981. They had Tyler in 1988. In 1990, they bought their home that we just talked about, and according to the Springfield News Leader, John was named Missouri's best teacher of science of the year.
For Springfield, or
Yes.
wherever district he worked.
Yes.
Wow.
At that time, Cheryl was working her way up the medical ladder, and they had Jennifer in 1993. And they were quoted as being a rare, financially stable couple for their age.
That shouldn't be rare, but it's so this couple actually had their shit together. Most don't. Which is true, but isn't that sad?
They weren't living check to check like everybody
like
else
most
in the world.
people. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, so good for them. So on the outside, they
It
really
looks
did have
great.
it all.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything looks wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about this teachers conference at the Lake of the Ozarks
That John was at.
Yeah. Now you're
Oh my gosh.
You've been to teacher conferences.
This exact place.
Yes,
To multiple.
At Tan-Terra Resort at the Lake of the Ozarks. It's a really nice resorty place.
It's now Margaritaville.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
They changed it to Margaritaville.
Because my last couple years, I had to go down there for admin conferences.
Tantera is so much more.
Yes,
of a
and
better name.
then so then I'd have to get my receipt for Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very nice still, but yes,
But-
all the conferences were held there.
What goes on at these conferences? I've been to some too at
Okay.
Tantera. What goes on? What we have sessions after
yes.
sessions,
So you're,
right?
you're signing up to go to different sessions to hear different people speak about different things you're interested in. So he's at a teacher's conference.
Yeah.
They also have mixers at night. And
I never knew about that.
Oh yeah, you can go like different. It was always for a long time like it was a photography studio, but they would hold a mixer. They'd sponsor it.
A little party.
Yes, and you'd get 2 ticket drinks. And then if you wanted anything after 2 drinks, you had to pay for your own. I never went to any of those, but I knew many of people
You were
did.
in the bed.
Oh,
in the hotel
I'm
room.
in bed,
Yeah.
asleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there can be a lot of commingling at those, I guess, if you're into that.
Sure.
So,
Well, I've been to 2 and I didn't commingle or
no. So,
anything.
but I mean, yeah, it's very typical thing at a conference. And if you work in this area, especially Springfield, to be down around there. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's kind of the experience I had, except for the mixers.
Yeah.
Okay, so John, he gets to this resort on Saturday, February 25th. Okay.
Okay.
While there, on the morning of Monday, February 27th, so 2 days later in the morning, John receives a phone call in his hotel room from the high school that he teaches at around 9 a.m.
Oh, boy.
They said that they had received a call that morning from Cheryl's work saying that she hadn't come in and they were worried and had not heard
Oh,
from
my
her.
gosh. What a nightmare.
Yeah. He was also told that no one would pick up the phone at their house. Their son had not been taken to school and the daughter had not been taken to the babysitters.
Yeah, that's scary.
So what does he
Something's going on.
do? This is good. He hangs up the phone and immediately calls the police.
Okay, good.
He
Good job.
says, I need you to go do a welfare check at my house.
Okay.
Okay, good job.
So far, not sketchy.
No.
Okay.
So meanwhile, a coworker of Cheryl's, Teresa, she decides, well, John's in Tantera at the resort. I'm just going to go over there and see
Oh.
what's going on. Okay.
Oh, boy.
And of course, the door is unlocked.
Okay. It's unlocked.
And what do people usually do? They go in.
They go in. So she let herself in.
So she let herself in, and the house was completely
gosh.
ransacked. Like it looked like it looked like it had been robbed.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Stuff everywhere.
Yes. She said that there was the garage doors open, there was stuff laying on the car in the garage. It just looked like they'd been robbed. So
And she stopped and didn't go in from there.
So she stopped and just walked in right then. So about this time, finally, the police officer arrives for the welfare check.
Because I just think how many coworkers have went to check on their other coworkers that haven't shown up to work
Yes.
and stumbled
Found
upon
them.
something bad.
Or ruined the entire investigation scene.
Yeah.
So finally, an officer arrives to do the welfare check. They immediately notice shoe prints all over the carpet, like that are in paint. Okay.
Paint.
Yes.
Not blood.
No, paint,
Paint.
like painted shoe prints.
What?
One officer goes to the bedroom, turns on the lights, and finds Cheryl.
Oh.
Teresa, the coworker, is standing in the background and says, "Is she dead?" And he says to her, "Look for yourself."
No way. He did not say that.
Not his best moment in life.
No.
But
A police officer?
yes, said, "Go look for yourself." So beware here. There's mayhem ahead. So Cheryl was face down on her bed. Her head and neck were covered in wounds. Okay. Looked like she had been strangled.
Oh my gosh.
Then he goes to Tyler's room and finds him laying on the bed on his back with a pillow over his face and blood visible around him.
7 years.
7 years old. And then finally, they go to Jennifer's room, 18-month-old Jennifer. This is terrible.
This is awful.
And I'm sorry to say this, but they find her in her crib, curled up tight, face buried in the mattress with a cord tightly wrapped around her neck. And they said it was the cord from the blinds.
Oh gosh. Oh.
After seeing this, the cop calls for backup. And within minutes, the house is full of officers.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
Now, meanwhile, at the police station, investigators are being informed of this case.
Okay.
And someone mentions that the victims are the family of a Springfield teacher.
Okay. Someone like just
Yeah,
knows that.
we know that the victims are of a Springfield teacher. Well, there are over 1,000 teachers in Springfield.
Sure.
So no one mentions any names. But in that moment, this investigator, her name is Rita, and we're going to talk more about her. Rita just says out of the blue to the investigator next to her, was it John Feeney's family? Is that the case we're doing? Is John Feeney's family? And the investigator next to her said, yeah, it was. How in the world did you know that, Rita?
No kidding.
Well,
What?
so the reason she guessed it was him is because Rita and John go way back.
Okay.
They had a history and they went back.
Okay.
They actually went to high school together, graduated high school together. They, grew up. He grew up and actually before he was a high school science teacher, he was a college chemistry teacher.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Okay.
And she, because she knew him and, they were friends or whatever, she ended up taking one of his chemistry classes at night, a night class.
Okay.
And that he taught. So one night, him and her were talking after class, nothing about chemistry. She's an investigator. I'm not sure why she's
Yeah, I was
taking
going to ask
a
that.
chemistry
Okay.
class.
Who knows?
But anyway, she's just talking about recent high-profile cases that are going on as an investigator. And she tells John that in September of 1994, a 37-year-old woman named Lisa Ravel was killed in her room, or in her house south of Springfield. Rita told John that they had quickly put Lisa's husband under the microscope as the prime suspect.
Sure.
Rita said that John was very interested in this case. She thought maybe too interested.
What?
Mm-hmm. So says that in one particular question that John said that stood out in her mind was, what was the husband's big mistake? What mistake did he make that allowed the police to get him? And Rita said back to John, and remember this for later.
Oh my gosh.
He talked to the police and he shouldn't have. That's what Rita told him.
And this is what made her instantly say his name.
Yes.
Teacher John Feeney.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That
'Cause
is
she thought,
wild.
Well, she hadn't gotten over the fact that he was so interested and had asked that question, right?
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about what the before we move on.
I guess we're going to go back to that.
We are
right?
going back to
Okay.
John.
Okay.
We're going way back to John. But let's talk first about what the investigators found at the house.
Okay.
Okay, a very bizarre scene. Like I said before, there were shoe prints in the living room, and the liquid on the bottom of the shoe prints was beige paint.
Beige paint.
Yes.
Okay.
The prints dried, but they found a small puddle of the paint in the garage. Now,
Okay.
they thought it was weird because the prints didn't fade like you would expect them to. Like if you walk through a puddle of paint, the more steps you take, the more the paint fades, right?
Because it gets less and less.
Especially on carpet.
Right.
But though these are not fading, they are all equally saturated.
So like someone's like every time putting the shoes in paint?
Yeah,
Like,
they said it looked like someone had been painting the bottom of their shoes every 2 steps.
so they're not wearing them. Or if they are wearing, like
Right.
they could have even had them on their hands or
Yes.
something and been okay.
Yes,
What?
yes. And the prints followed a pretty clear path. The house was a 1-story with a basement with its own entrance. The prints started at the puddle in the garage, and they go through the living room and to the bedroom and then just stop. It was like they had just taken off their shoes right then, and they found no shoes.
So they never found a trail, like they said, that faded to where someone had
Never.
walked off.
It was
and it was
fresh shoe prints the whole time, and then they just stopped.
I don't even know what to make of that.
I don't either.
I mean, someone like trying to create a false story of someone.
And this next part might kind of clear up why there was some beige paint.
And they never found those shoes?
No, the shoes
Okay.
were not there. They never
Okay.
found them. So investigators then find an encrypted message in John and Cheryl's bedroom from the same beige paint. The message said in all caps, "Bit, B-I-T, die."
Bit?
Bit.
Die.
They think it was supposed to say, "Bitch, die."
Like what? And was it on a wall?
It was on the wall in their bedroom.
And someone had painted
In the
BITDIE.
Yeah, bit.die.
Okay.
And it was in that beige paint that was on the floor.
So same paint.
Same paint.
Weird.
bit.die. And they're like, I don't know. A few people say, well, maybe they ran out of paint and didn't get the CH on there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
wild. And
I don't
again,
know what-
again, was that put there to throw people off?
Right, maybe.
You know?
The house was completely ransacked, like we said, like in a crazy way, like theatrically. Like
Over the top.
it looked like someone had staged.
A crime scene.
Yes. And there were actually things of value in the house that were not taken, like cash in the bedroom,
Yeah. One of those things that you would think.
things that you would, yeah. Um, Forced entry. The front door is fine. There was no forced entry.
So no forced entry.
No, it actually, there was, but it was in the basement door, the walkout basement door from the basement that looked like it had been kicked in.
Okay.
Now, the door was splintered and there was even a visible shoe print, but it wasn't in paint.
A different shoe print.
Different shoe print. Even this kicked in door is suspicious because Rita discovered that when a door is and she was on the case. Remember,
Okay,
she's working this case.
Okay,
yes.
nice.
So that when a door is forced open, normally you would find wood pulp on the screws from the forcible dislodge.
Sure, yes.
But Rita says there was no pulp to be found and not a ton of damage to the door frame either. Instead, it almost looked like the door had ever so carefully been unscrewed from the hinges.
Like someone had intentionally.
Yes. Very bizarre crime
Yes,
scene.
very weird.
Okay, but probably the most bizarre thing of the whole entire thing was that every single family picture, every baby picture, every wedding picture, every school picture have been taken down and turned inward, hiding their faces.
Which makes you think it's personal.
Very personal.
Like, I can't see these faces while I'm doing this.
Very personal.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So, as you can probably imagine, this makes investigators super eager to talk to John.
And I mean, I'm sorry, you're the only survivor of the whole house.
It really looks bad for John.
Yeah.
So, reporting the news to John. So, around noon, so they did the welfare check around 9 a.m.ish. He's still in Tantera.
Okay.
So, around noon is when a fellow science teacher showed up at his hotel door looking very shocked.
Uh-oh.
And the guy says to John, I am not sure, but I think I just saw your house on the news.
Oh, shit.
This guy stayed with John. Then the phone rang for John from his father. It was his father on the phone.
John's father.
Yes. And broke the news to him that all of his family
had died.
Yes. When he heard that his family was gone, he supposedly fell to pieces.
According to his other teacher who was with him.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, a friend tells reporters with the Springfield News Leader that he remembers reciting prayers with John.
Okay.
Another teacher friend said that John kept repeating over and over again, this can't be, this can't be.
Okay.
Another friend was helping John take deep breaths. So
he seemed distraught.
Yes. So
about
all
this.
these things, yes.
But we know people can fake that.
Yes. So the fellow science teacher and John started making their way to Springfield. He's got to get home.
Yeah.
And when they get to the first highway patrol, John's mom is there outside waiting for him. She walks with him while he's being questioned about his weekend. And they know he was out of town, but they really need some specific details from him.
Yes.
We know you have an alibi.
Right. This alibi. You're at this conference.
But we need details of this. So
yes.
here's John's confessed timeline. So Saturday, February 26th, this is the day that he left for Tantera. He tells them that that was the last day with his family. It was uneventful. He didn't have to leave for the conference until later that day. So he was able to hang out with his kids and Cheryl, run some errands. They even had lunch together. He did yard work. And then he headed out in his red Mustang convertible. And the reason I said that red Mustang convertible is because that comes up.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just picturing him too.
Well, you're thinking midlife crisis
a
or something.
little. I'm like,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, go for it, I guess.
So John says that when he got to town, the Lake of the Ozarks. He and a fellow teacher, so he finally got to Tantera.
Okay.
He and a fellow teacher named Pam went to dinner together.
Okay. I mean, fellow teachers, that's
Sure.
not abnormal.
Just somewhere within driving distance from the resort. So they're just, we're just going to
Sure.
go across town. After dinner, they were headed to a pre-conference party. Or
I told
mixer.
ya. I told you. Mix. They can't call them parties. Mixers. Yeah.
Mixers.
At the resort. Okay.
Yes. But on the way back, John and Pam got pulled over and John got a ticket.
Oh.
And the patrol officer confiscated his driver's license.
Why?
I guess I don't know why. Maybe he was going way too fast.
So
in
that's
his Mustang convertible.
Oh, and with Pam.
Yeah.
So that's on the record then. Like we
Yeah.
have proof
Oh,
he
yeah.
was here that evening because
Oh,
he
yeah.
got pulled over.
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
even more.
Okay.
So after after thinking about the ticket, John is like, I've got a headache. I got to go deal with this ticket thing, and I'm not going to the party.
No
Sorry, Pam.
party.
So he parts ways, goes back to the hotel room, and he calls Cheryl.
Okay. This is Saturday night.
Yeah, she picks up. They speak normal conversation, and that would be their last
Oh.
conversation.
Okay.
Okay, after he hangs up on the phone with Cheryl, he is like, I'm going to get my ticket. I'm going to pay the ticket and get my license back tonight.
Okay.
So
okay.
he gets off the phone with her. I'm going to go take care of this. He went to the Osage Beach Police Department to pay his ticket.
Okay.
According to the police, he was there around 10:30 or so. They got their money and he got his license back.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, so that's at 10:30.
Okay.
On Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Then he says he goes back to his hotel room and went to bed. And he says he was in his room all night.
Now, how far is his resort from his house?
I'm going to tell you in just a minute.
Okay. I was just like, is it feasible that
Yeah.
he could have driven home and driven back?
Yes.
Okay.
So
He claims
Sunday,
he was in his room all night.
all
Saturday
night.
Okay.
Of course.
The night. Okay.
So Sunday, February 27th, he didn't leave his room until late Sunday morning to go play golf with some of his colleagues.
Right.
Okay.
Typical.
After golf, there was a conference session, followed by a lunch and another session at 4
Okay.
that he led.
Oh, that he was in charge of.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
He called home again around 5 p.m. on Sunday to check in and no answer.
Okay.
Again, he did not worry about it too much because Cheryl was managing 2 kids alone and one of them was sick. Tyler was sick.
Okay.
So he thought,
She's busy.
yeah, no big deal. Sunday night, John went to a work to a work social event to work on a presentation that they were giving to the colleagues the next morning.
Okay. Okay.
So Monday morning, he was going to be in charge
of
another
another session.
presentation. So then John tries to call Cheryl Sunday night around 11 p.m. It's unanswered. Once again, he's not thinking too much about it since Cheryl had to get back to work early the next morning and everybody's just probably in bed.
Right.
So John just went to bed.
Okay.
Then Monday, that's when he wakes up. And before he knows it, he's getting the call from his school
That this has happened.
and he's headed back to Springfield.
Okay. Okay. That's his timeline.
Yes. So, but he is firmly at the top of the persons of interest.
Even though he's acting shocked and grief stricken,
Mhm.
they still are like, okay, we've
Mhm.
got to thoroughly examine him.
Yes. Now, I'm going to skip to the autopsies
Okay.
and we're going to come back to John again. So, the autopsies. The autopsies found that while baby Jennifer died from strangulation from the cord of her blinds in her bedroom, Cheryl and Tyler both died as a result from blunt force trauma to the head.
Oh, no.
And mayhem alert here, guys. And the medical examiner confirmed that all 3 were attacked in their sleep. I guess you can
Oh.
tell that by looking at
Like,
an autopsy.
probably how they've responded or if
Maybe.
they've had a chance to respond.
And that they definitely took place in the overnight hours from Saturday night into Sunday night. So, like a 24-hour time span, they said that they had to happen in.
Okay.
Cheryl was struck on the head 10 times with what was described as some kind of a metal pipe or rod. Tyler was struck 7 times with the same object, including 3 blows to the head. Whatever
So-
they had been hit with was not at the scene. They couldn't find it. It's probably a baseball bat.
So that says he was hit 3 times in the head and then 4 times on his body somewhere
Yeah.
else. This is awful. This
Awful.
is terrible. Ugh.
Also, Cheryl had superficial puncture wounds to her face, and a knife was found near her body.
What?
So I was like, what are superficial puncture wounds? Puncture wounds. And they are wounds that are deep and made by a pointed object, like a knife that was laying right by her. Now,
But not like that damage alone wouldn't have killed her.
no.
Yes. Okay,
No.
gotcha.
But that was
But
just
that's
something else that
weird.
happened to her.
Like what? Like, yeah,
But I
like
wonder, like, was that her own personal knife that she kept for safety and it was
maybe,
used against her? You know what I mean? Because
possibly.
why would a little knife
And
what do
they
you
weren't able to ever determine, like, was it a knife from their kitchen? Were they
No.
never able to determine, like,
No.
where the knife came from?
And I don't know if they ever found I mean, they found the knife, but I don't know if they found who it came
Like,
from.
where it came from.
Mm-mm.
Okay, okay. Wow.
Okay, now here here's something. All right.
Okay.
The Kansas City Star reporter found that during Tyler's autopsy, the 7-year-old, the medical examiner finds that he had liver damage.
This is not from this incident. Like, he
No.
has liver damage, like, an
Yes.
illness, a
Yes, like
disease?
liver damage over a long period of time. Like his
What?
which is really crazy for a 7-year-old.
7-year-old and
Yes.
wow, okay,
Okay.
okay,
So, and we're gonna get back to that,
to the liver.
to the liver damage and why.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
This couple also had a waterbed.
Oh,
It
boy,
was the
okay.
90s.
True, true, it is.
And unfortunately, the heat on the waterbed was turned up all the way. I mean, it was
Boy.
February, and it caused Cheryl's body to decompose faster than it would otherwise.
'Cause it was heated.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I mean, that
Oof.
doesn't sound fishy at all to me because, I mean, like I said, it was February and you did crank those up.
Eh, sure, yes, so it was that they don't think, like they think that it just happened to be on and that
Yeah.
just was
If
okay.
anybody out there still has a waterbed, let us know. Is that
Seriously?
what we-
Remember mom and dad had that, and Terry and I took that bed for a long time. It was that Soma water bed, and it had the tubes of water that the
Yes.
mattress went on top of. That thing was comfortable.
Did you ever have to move a waterbed out of a house and into another one ever?
Not a real water bed, just the tubes.
Yeah, you gotta drain the whole
The
thing.
whole thing.
It's, like, crazy. The whole thing was crazy.
I can't imagine sleeping on those now. It would kill my back.
I would not.
I wouldn't be able to get out of it.
No.
You know, you have to roll out of them to start
Would
with.
not.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
some other things they found during the autopsies, when they processed the crime scene, they took samples of what looked like semen from the comforter of the waterbed, and it was a hit, and it was John's semen.
Well, okay.
But that's not I mean, not a big surprise. That's his
their
bed, it's his
bed.
comforter,
Sure.
they live there.
Yeah.
They also collected a hair from her nightgown that had recently been dyed reddish brown, as well as a couple of gray hairs from the garage on the paintbrush. The paintbrush that was used to
Write the
write
message,
bit dye. They found hair on that too.
and they don't know who these hairs. They weren't family.
None of them match the family.
So recently, red, brown, dyed hair,
Yes.
and gray hairs.
Yes.
What?
On
Okay.
the yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to investigate John. Okay?
John, what happened? Do you know?
So, over the next few days, investigators interview all of John's family, friends, colleagues, and they all are like, no way would he ever do something like that.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
So he
So
was just voted teacher of the year, man, you know?
right,
Like,
yes.
he would not do
He would
that.
not do that.
They said that during his colleagues said that during the conference, the whole weekend, he was himself.
Okay, and he's presenting. Like, okay,
That's hard to do.
that is hard. That's stressful when you are
Yes.
presenting at a conference. So
You don't have time to go murder and
that's
then
what
present.
I'm like, and keep your shit together. I don't know. That seems, yeah. So they're like, no, he acted normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also teed up for a round of golf within hours of the murders and never expressed any stress or distraction or even a little bit of a bad mood.
So if he did kill them, he's a psychopath because he
Yes.
was able to just go back and function
Which is a
completely normal. Which
possibility.
is a possibility.
Yeah.
We know there are psychopaths.
Osage Police Department, like I said earlier, did confirm that he did come pay his ticket and got his license back at 10:30 Saturday night.
Okay.
Okay. When they process John's car, they find nothing, no incriminating forensic evidence, no weapons, no blood, no paint, no shoes, no clothing, nothing.
And you would think the way the scene sounded with that paint everywhere, like
Mhm.
he would have at least had to have
Something.
something.
Nothing. What they do end up finding is a receipt from the McDonald's near the resort that's time-stamped 6:59 a.m. on Sunday. Now, remember, he originally said that he didn't leave his room until late Sunday morning.
So here's our first sketchy bit of
Yeah.
information.
So they present this time-stamped receipt to him, and what does he say? He says,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I did run to McDonald's and get breakfast that morning. It just slipped my mind." And that is totally
That is
possible.
plausible, especially when you've just been told about a traumatic thing and you're trying to replay. And
Yeah.
yes.
So
Okay.
he just went and got breakfast and came back,
Okay.
evidently. Now, during his timeline, you were just asking this, he is unaccounted for about 8 to 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
His story, he's sleeping in the hotel.
Sure.
Now, the round trip, you asked how long it would take to get
Yes.
from Tantera to Springfield. The round trip was 3 hours. It's 90 minutes each way.
Okay.
So it would have been 90 minutes to go back to Springfield, kill, and 90
Cut.
minutes to come back. So that would have left him 5 to 5.5 hours to murder his family and do some serious staging.
So there was time. He
There
had
was
time
definitely
to
time.
do that.
He did.
And I'm guessing there's no cameras in the hotel, like hall, to see like if he left the room.
Sure,
You know
probably
what I'm
not
saying?
back then.
No, not back then.
Not
Okay.
back then.
So yeah. Okay. Definitely he had, what is it? Motive and mean. He had
Yes.
mean.
Yes.
He had the means to do it.
Now, something else they found in his car was John kept a written travel log in his car. Have you ever heard of somebody doing that?
No.
He-
Well, not unless you have to report your mileage.
He kept a written travel log where he recorded all of his mileage. So when investigators compared the miles from the car to the travel log, it matched perfectly for him not making that drive back to Springfield. It showed, according to the travel log, that he never left Tantera.
So they're like, okay, like this doesn't say any different than
No.
what he told us.
No.
Okay.
Now, by this time, the family has caught on that investigators are looking into John so closely, and they think
Oof.
he's completely innocent.
Okay.
So they hire a local defense lawyer to represent him. They're
Okay.
like, "You're going to need some more help here." And they immediately ask him to take a polygraph.
Right.
And he says no.
Okay.
Okay, him not taking the polygraph did not go well with her family.
They're like, why wouldn't you take a polygraph?
But John's lawyer points out that he had been super cooperative this whole time. He has given them financial documents, blood samples, his hair. He even let them have his car and points out that polygraphs are easy to fail.
And that's true.
And my client will not be taking one.
And I don't know why they still do polygraphs because
They
they're not
can
admissible
be.
in court.
Yeah.
Psychopaths can pass them.
Mhm.
Normal people can fail them. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And it does look sketchy when he says no, but I do see why his lawyer said no
Yeah.
because it could create more questions where there aren't any.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They do have footage from the traffic stop. And when him and Rita got pulled over, you remember that?
Yes.
Well,
Or
Rita.
when him and Pam.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, him and Pam. Well, Rita was looking at that traffic footage.
Okay. The detective.
And she saw something that made her feel suspicious. She swears that she has seen John wearing a belt that is in that footage
Okay.
of the traffic stop. So she saw him wearing a belt in this footage.
And
And
she
she's like,
feels-
I've seen him wear that before. Specifically, she thinks she saw it at the crime scene.
Which is his house,
Yes.
right?
So when the crime scene.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So how could it be at the crime scene and on him at
Yeah,
the
like,
same time?
Maybe it was his. Yeah.
And then after he'd done that night and went, okay, got it. So like the belt can't be at Tantera and at home at the same
Right.
time. Got it.
So that was weird.
Okay.
Okay, so
Rita thinks John's guilty.
yeah. And then this happens to Rita.
Uh-oh.
So John is posted up in a hotel near Springfield while his house is being sealed off and investigated.
He's at a hotel.
Yes,
Okay.
he's at a hotel. While Rita and other investigators are talking to John at the hotel, one of them says to John, "Man, John, I really wish you would talk to us some more." Rita says at this point, this smug smile takes over John's face, and he looks at her dead in the eye and says, "Well, I once had a very wise person tell me that the best way to stay out of prison is to never talk to the police." Meaning that conversation he had with Rita.
Just however long ago.
Yes.
And that's what made her say John Feeney's family.
And in that moment, she is hit with the realization that John may well have been plotting to kill his family way back when she was in that night class. And he had all those questions about the case she was investigating
Oh.
because of that.
And so she, in her mind, she's like, oh my gosh, like I helped, in a way, I almost helped him
Yeah, but
plan
you can't
this.
arrest a guy based on snarky comments.
Exactly.
So
Or something that a moment just the two of them shared,
yeah,
you know? Whoa, that's crazy. I bet
yeah.
she was about to shit her pants.
And
I would
so
be.
they
Yikes.
had, gotten a search warrant and had been searching his house, and they found
Nothing.
nothing and freed him. And they actually released John's his house back to him. And people thought it was really weird because John just moved back in.
After your whole family's been murdered
Yeah.
in there? No, thank you.
A lot of people had an issue with that. Because they were still investigating, but he could go back to the house. I don't
Yes.
know.
And then,
But
yeah.
how he could live there, I don't know. Whether you committed the crime or not, it'd be a creepy place to live.
But it does make you think, like, wow. I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, like the thought that he'd even want to go back in there
I mean, but maybe,
at
he
all.
couldn't get a new home or something. I don't
Maybe,
know.
and yeah, and I don't, and that sounds like maybe he had to do a lot of remodeling, the
Yeah.
paint everywhere.
Okay, so he moves back in. They're still looking at him. They can't prove it. They have no motive. Sometime in March, investigators receive a report involving the test. Remember Tyler's liver?
Yeah, what's up with
Yes.
that?
Yes. The cause of Tyler's liver damage was hepatitis B.
Hep B?
Yes.
What?
Very unusual in a child, but also it's
It's not like 100% unheard of
well, you
in a
get it
kid.
through
It's sexual
intercourse,
intercourse.
okay? Now, there are other ways for children to contract it, okay?
Okay.
I looked it up. It can be passed from mother to child in utero
Okay.
if she were to have Hep B.
Okay.
It can also be spread through bodily fluids at the home if
Okay.
anybody there is infected, okay?
Okay.
Um, but all of those are highly unlikely.
Like
I
the
mean,
odds of that are
yeah,
slim.
it mostly comes from sexual
Oh my
intercourse.
gosh.
So then investigators they form a theory. What if John had been
Oh
sexually assaulting
gosh.
Tyler, gave him Hep B, Cheryl found out and threatened to turn him in? Would that have been a motive for him to kill? So the next step was, well, we're going to
Okay, that's
test.
what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we're going to test both John and Cheryl for Hep B.
Because if Cheryl has it, maybe she passed it in utero.
Yeah, and that would answer that.
Sure.
But no, they both come back negative.
What? Like they do not have Hep B.
Neither of them do.
Just Tyler.
But he had it so bad that his liver was he had liver.
Failing.
Yes.
What?
So could this point to someone other than John? Maybe someone else was abusing him. I don't know.
Wow.
More on that in a bit.
Okay, are we gonna ever find? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So then they tested the hairs on Cheryl's nightgown and the hairs on the paintbrush, and they did not match up with any DNA base and were not Cheryl or John's.
So they had no clue where those came
No,
from.
no. Because if you're not in the DNA database,
Then you're, yeah.
yeah.
No.
After investigators started questioning him about his marriage, he claims to have always been faithful to his wife.
That's what he claims.
Big fat lie. Because Pam, remember who he went to have dinner with?
Supposedly innocently.
Yeah. Pam admitted to having an affair with
What?
John.
So John is not Teacher of the Year.
No.
Oh,
is
John
not.
is far from Teacher of the Year.
She said their affair was brief. It was like 3 or 4 times. And they were always at teachers'
Oh, how
conferences.
convenient.
Yeah,
See?
those mixers.
Yeah, I tell you. Ooh, John. Okay.
While looking into him, they also found out that John, who was put on administrative leave from the school after the murders, was sometimes very inappropriate while teaching.
Okay, this pisses me off because I have known, I'm sorry. Now, there's different levels of inappropriate, but I have
Mhm.
known so many teachers and administrators over the year that have gotten awards
that were inappropriate.
that should not have gotten awards.
Right.
That you're like, who the hell is making this decision? You know,
Yeah.
like, have they really ever seen them in a classroom?
Right.
Heard them interact with children?
How
See them
is
plan
this-
a lesson?
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
How was this decision made?
So here we go. So not only did he become Teacher of the Year, but
He just inappropriate.
he was inappropriate.
So, for instance, he really liked Cindy Crawford. Evidently, like
oh, like the Cindy Crawford.
like he was obsessed with the supermodel Cindy Crawford, and he would joke in class with his male students about her.
Inappropriate.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Also, he was at a bar one night. There were some students there, and they were underage, and he just went ahead and bought them some drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then supposedly like on a graduation trip, he may have slept with a former student.
And he's fucking
But he was like,
teacher
yeah,
of the year.
yeah,
What
yeah.
a joke.
So
Okay.
after hearing all of this, police believe that maybe his philandering was the
Gotta
motive.
love that word.
Philandering, like maybe that
So,
was his motive.
Here we go. Philandering motive. Middle of the night means.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted to start over, wipe the slate clean and have no wife, have no kids, but also have, $250,000 in his pocket.
Which would be $500,000
Life insurance.
today.
Yes. So,
Oh boy.
and it must be noted that he recently, like just a few weeks before this happened, had taken out this life insurance policy on her. But now,
That's a big amount.
That is. But he said he had bought this because there was a promotion going on for teachers that the insurance company was promoting. And there was.
Is that true?
It is
okay,
true.
I was like, is that true? But
It is.
okay, you can verify it.
And he took him up on it.
Well, okay. Okay.
So,
okay.
Months into the investigation, investigators find a witness.
A legit witness.
Well, no.
Darn it. Okay.
A gas station worker says he remembers John stopping to get gas in the wee hours of that Sunday morning after the murders. So finally, investigators have a witness.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so that's nice.
Great.
But the defense gets their hands on the gas station attendant's time card. And guess who wasn't even working that night?
Oh, come on. This dude?
No, he wasn't even working the gas station attendant. So now no key witnesses for his trial to begin in September of 1996.
Oh, geez. Nothing. Okay.
Then they bring up vampires.
What?
Yes.
Vampire? Who brings up vampires? Ew.
Investigators apparently learn that sometimes John plays a role-playing game called Vampires of the Masquerade. This guy.
This guy.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but with vampires.
Vampires of the Masquerade.
And per the prosecution,
sure,
they're trying to say John set out with the task of killing his family. He just pretended he was a vampire and was playing the game.
Okay, so they're stretching now.
Yeah.
And which is making it feel a little,
But the defense says, I have a much more believable theory than vampires.
Okay, good.
They said maybe someone had been abusing Tyler, hence the Hep B, and they had suddenly decided they didn't want anyone finding out and ended up killing them.
So the person who was abusing Tyler did this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a theory.
Okay, yeah.
It is very possible that there might have been more physical evidence pointing to an outside intruder that wasn't collected because, this is sad, some important crime scene surfaces like Tyler's headboard and Jennifer's crib were never dusted for prints.
What in the hell?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes me and you could go into it
I do too.
and do a much better job.
Seriously, with zero crime scene investigation experience. Like, that's not just like every surface you fingerprint.
Yeah.
Come on.
So his trial, he has a trial.
He goes to trial.
And October 5th, 1996, when the jury goes to deliberate, they are sent to do so with no forensics, no witnesses, no murder weapon, just nothing.
Nothing.
Just a bad husband with a bad back.
Yes. Just a liar teacher.
So, yes, in less than 5 hours, they come back. The verdict is all 3 counts, not guilty.
They just didn't have anything.
They didn't.
Oh.
And afterthought, later, most of the town, jurors included, said they very much thought he was guilty.
Gosh,
Rita also thought he was guilty. But it was just so frustrating, they said, for the jurors to explain in interviews that they just weren't given enough evidence to prove the case.
That would be awful.
Talking about reasonable doubt.
Yes.
Like, this case is about reasonable doubt.
Has to be.
Yeah. And so when the judge was interviewed, he even said he wasn't surprised by the verdict due to reasonable doubt.
So, can you imagine being a juror and being like, you know what, he killed them, but
I have to say this.
We can't prove it.
But he is still walking the streets. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a second.
Yeah, where's he at now?
So Cheryl's family, they eventually sue John to prevent him from collecting on her life insurance.
So, and is Cheryl's family, when he's said to be innocent at this trial, they still believe he's guilty?
They think he did it. That's why they want him to not receive this.
Okay, so they still believe you.
Yeah,
okay.
So they sue him, and it is dropped.
Oh.
And John does get the proceeds,
Oh.
but what does he do? And I don't know why he did this. is a good thing.
Okay.
But he pledges to give $50,000 for a private investigation into who really killed his family. And nothing ever came of that.
So did he give the $50K to a private investigator?
Yes.
But nothing new ever came
No.
out of it. Okay.
No.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
John, he ends up staying around Springfield for a while, and then at some point moves to Ecuador.
Ecuador? Okay.
Where he resumes his career, remarries, and has a whole new family.
Just built a new life. So
now,
if he did do it and wanted to just start over, he got away with it
and he got the money.
and got money.
If
Wow.
if that was
is it.
him and that was his plan, he absolutely did.
Yeah.
Now, that would be the end of the story, but it's not. So,
Oh, okay.
an Ozarks true crime podcaster heard from a kid who was a neighbor of John's at the time of the murders, and it turns out that this kid could have been the witness that the prosecution needed this whole entire time.
What?
Okay, so this kid, he lives next door to John.
Neighbor.
The neighbor. He's about 9 or 10.
Okay, so he's little, but
Yeah.
still.
And the kid wakes up in the middle, it's a girl, I'm sorry. The little girl wakes up in the middle of the night, her stomach hurts. So she goes to her parents, and she thinks it's between 2 and 4 a.m.
Okay.
to tell them. And her parents say, go take some Pepto-Bismol and go back to bed. So she does. She does that. And on her way back to bed, she looks out her window and she sees John's bright red Mustang convertible sitting in the driveway.
Which is hard to miss.
And it is hard to miss. And she thought to herself, it's weird because he never parks in the driveway. He keeps that in the garage. And then she just went back to bed. As soon as she heard about the murders a few days later, she told her dad what she had seen. And her dad, who could testify that she had been awake that night at that time with a bellyache, made sure she repeated the whole story to investigators. But somehow her sighting got misplaced, overlooked because the prosecutor is interviewed. When the prosecutor is interviewed, he says that this is the first time he is hearing anything of it.
So another crack fell through the cracks. Bullshit.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And unfortunately, John cannot be retried.
No, double jeopardy or that bullshit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So,
and Rita had never heard that story either.
No. So the case is officially closed with lots of questions. So there's so many questions. Whose hairs were those? Were they ever checked for DNA? Yes, they were. But again, were they checked for DNA?
Were those?
How did Tyler contract Hep B? What about the belt? The shoe prints?
The neighbor?
Yeah, there's so many things.
All this.
Okay, I have a small theory.
Okay, what is it?
It's never been...
Can you imagine being her poor family?
No, but okay, what if... And this is just
hypothetical theory.
What if Mrs. Feeney was having an affair and it went bad with that person?
Sure.
And that person killed her and the kids knowing John was out of town, making it look like a robbery. That would explain the hairs found on her pajamas. And I mean, if they were just dyed, that would probably be a woman. So could it be a scorned, jealous woman?
Like whoever she was, maybe if she was having
and then they wrote die bit.
Yeah.
Not directed towards Jennifer. More like Cheryl. Jennifer's 18 months old.
Oh, yeah. Because that was on Jennifer's wall.
No, that was on Cheryl's wall.
Okay.
But if you're writing die bitch, there's 2 women in there, and the 18-month-old isn't.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's just a thought that I have because I never saw where anybody looked into her and all of that.
And was there ever any theory on the paint?
No, nothing else.
Was it just being used to cover up the crime scene type of thing, they think?
Don't know.
See, this is crazy. And if you're her parents or family members,
yeah,
you can't move past this.
No.
Oh,
and everything's, you just don't know.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What?
I don't either. Honestly, I feel like if I had to say anything, I feel like he could potentially be guilty, but then also, I don't know. It's like just because you're shady and have affairs doesn't mean you're a murderer.
No.
But I don't know. These are the kind of things that, can you imagine being that family, and that would just keep you up.
But it just like, how did he get Hep B, you know?
That is
So I don't know.
perplexing. I mean, I guess if there is a small possibility he could have contracted it at school,
I mean,
or
there is a
I
small
mean,
possibility.
yeah, but this whole thing is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, I just don't know a lot about her and her, you know,
sure, and her
and
background.
she could have totally been doing the same thing.
Sure. We
Is
just
all,
don't
it's
know.
all I'm saying. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, the hairs on her pajamas, the fact they were colored, it just
Yeah.
makes me think a woman colors her hair, you know?
But I'm also, now there's all these things they say, these touch DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like those hairs could have been from someone she brushed against at Casey's
True.
or Dollar
But
General.
she was in her nightgown. They were on her nightgown.
See, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. See that? Oh gosh.
Anyway.
Crazy. Wow. Very interesting case, Mindy.
Okay, Mayhem listeners, that concludes this episode. Megan, would you mind saying a little prayer for the family of Cheryl, Tyler, and Jennifer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dear Lord, we just come to you and ask you to wrap your arms around Cheryl and Tyler and Jennifer's families. And I can't imagine how difficult this is for them not having the answers that they need and want. And so please, please, dear Lord, help give them some peace. And please, maybe, whoever did commit this crime can be caught and some justice can be served. So please just wrap your arms around them and hold them tight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You guys, until next time, as always, stay curious, stay safe, and stay kind. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, give us a quick rate and review. This has been Missouri Mayhem, Mystery and Murder. I'm Megan.
And I'm Mindy.
Missouri, you bring the mystery.
And we'll bring the mayhem.
Peace out.
Strong, confident, unstoppable. At Handful.com, we believe your sports bra should keep up with you. Whether you're crushing workouts or owning your day, Handful gives you the support, comfort, and style you deserve. And now, it gets even better. The Missouri Mayhem sisters have your back with 30% off your order. Just use code 54321 at checkout. Handful.com. Grab life by the handful.